All right. What is up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Going to be giving an update on FUBO. This one was a viewer request. So we'll take a look at the daily chart structure and see what I'm seeing on the setups. All right. We're also going to use today's sponsor, Simply Wall Street. There's a link in the pinned comment down below or in the description. You guys can get a 14-day free trial and up to 40% for the first 100 people to join. It's a really great platform that I've been using to help me dive into the fundamentals. Maybe like you, I am not an expert or professional at fundamental analysis, and Simply Wall Street makes it very easy and also gives you guys some great charts and graphs, really colorful stuff to help make things simple for you guys. So we're going to take a look at some of the fundamentals using Simply Wall Street. All right. As always, the content provided on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to be relied upon as legal, financial, or investment advice. Trading in stocks, bonds, commodities, and crypto involve a significant risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Please be sure to read through the full disclaimer. Now, when you first click on FUBO, okay, the revenue is forecast to grow 18.14% per year, and it's trading at a good value compared to its peers. But from a risk analysis standpoint, it has a highly volatile share price, and shareholders have been diluted in the past year. It's also currently unprofitable. Now, when you look at the price to sales ratio versus its fair ratio, from that perspective, it is a good value because the price to sales ratio is currently at 0.5x compared to the estimated fair price to sales ratio of 0.6x. So not a huge difference there, not a huge undervalue, but it is currently a good value based on those metrics. Now, again, when you look at the volatility, all right, FUBO is more volatile than 90% of US stocks over the past 3 months. That is extreme volatility, okay? So that's something that you need to be aware of, right? I mean, when you look at the industry average and the average market volatility, again, we highlighted it's more volatile than 90% of US stocks. So you have to be prepared for volatility if you're looking to trade, invest in FUBO, okay? Now, when you look at the 7-day returns, they're at 20%, but over the past year, it's down 43.5%. So it has underperformed the US interactive media and services industry, as well as the average US market returns in the past year. But here recently, okay, within the past week or so, FUBO has really been outperforming the market. It's got a 41.0% earnings growth rate with a 52.0% EPS growth rate. All right, those look pretty good. All right, we can take a look at the price to sales ratio versus the industry, and FUBO is at a 0.5x. Meanwhile, the industry average is 1.6x. So from that fundamental perspective, FUBO could possibly be undervalued at the price to sales ratio versus the industry. Now, when you look at some of the key information like the debt to equity ratio, it's at 91.9%. So that's pretty high right there. But from a financial health standpoint, okay, they do get 6 out of 6 checks on the financial health. That's one of their, strong points. All right, they have a total shareholder equity of 437.8 million and a total debt of 402.4 million. Its total assets and total liabilities are 1.3 billion and 826.2 million respectively. Again, that was all done using today's sponsor, Simply Wall Street. All right, we'll go ahead and hop into the chart, but don't forget you guys can get a 14-day free trial and up to 40% off your purchase if you guys choose to join Simply Wall Street. It's really not expensive, depending on which plan you get, whether it's like a monthly or a yearly. Okay, with the discount, it's anywhere from like $100 to $150 for the whole year. So pretty good price, all right, in my opinion, for the value that you get. Now let's take a look at the chart. Now on the chart, I am looking to see if we can get a bullish ABC structure, right? So we have a wave 1 up, wave 2 down. We held our major retracement levels, and it appears we could potentially be pushing upwards on FUBO. Now we have our Fib fans on here, Fibonacci fans, and you can see the trend line. We're currently hugging this one right here. So we really need to get above 192. If we can flip that to support and get above the fan trend line here, then we have a good chance of riding momentum up towards our bullish price targets of 240 or 265. Definitely need to be cautious in this area right through here. This is going to be about 220. Or I'm sorry, roughly about $2 to about $2.15, $2.10 area. That is going to be an overhead supply zone where we could potentially put in a double top, right? With a top here and then another top over here. You want to be cautious of that in case that ends up putting in an M pattern. If you take a look, we do have a gap down to fill on FUBO, which is going to be right around here. Okay, so essentially what these gaps are is these tend to fill about 90% of the time. The big question is when, right? And so sometimes you get breakaway gaps, right? And that's potentially what we have here. You have runaway gaps, right? Where it gaps up and it continues going, right? A gap and go. And we did not get the exhaustion gap where it gaps up and then immediately comes down and fills the gap. So that's showing bullish momentum. Again, we held the major retracement levels of support here, bouncing off of the 50% line about 2 or 3 times on the daily chart here, and trying to push upwards. All right, so if we end up breaking through 141, very, very strong chance we get the reversal and fill that gap down below 120 to about 118. So you do need to be cautious of that. Really looking to see if we can flip 192 to support from resistance. That's our 61.8% level of resistance right there. Above there, we can really go bullish. You can see if I take off some of the stuff on the chart, we really haven't been able to stay above that level and flip it to support from resistance. Right now, the more times you test resistance, and we've tested it several times here on the daily, the weaker it gets. Right, so we broke out above it and then we came back down below, and each time we broke out above it, we've come back down below about 5, 6, 7, 8 times here on the daily time frame. We're going to see if we can finally flip that to support and continue heading up higher. That's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to check out my I'm dropping into some new style of videos where I'm basically going over trade setups. If you guys enjoy this type of video and you want to see some different stocks with some different trade setups, feel free to click on that video here.